So behind me we actually have River Alluvium. So put in context, over that way we actually have the actual Dargol formation as well as behind me. So the Dargol formation is pretty much up there. So a lot of this has actually been deposited because over that way we actually have a bend in the river. So as you know, if you know anything about river erosion, where there's a bend in the river, so you actually so you actually got a bend in the river. Oh, fuck it, use a rock. So you got the let's see if we can actually do it. You actually got a bend in the river, so the river is actually flowing around this way. So on this side the soil will be deposited, and you know, this would probably be, it's not actually not very eroded. It's formed like a brickier type rock. So, and on this side is actually been eroded. So that's what's happening. So this has all been deposited. I would say a lot of it's just been eroded in place, because if we actually take some rock, I hope it doesn't actually fall on me. There's a lot of spiders here. Anyway, okay, if we take a lot of rock, you can see it's actually angular. It's actually not rounded. So this is actually probably been eroded in place, and it also has a lot of the actual sediment probably deposited from upstream as well. And on the other side we actually get the same thing, but on the other side is actually not as much of the actual large rock. So this is our river alluvium. So if we actually go over to the other side, we're going to actually have a look. So here we actually have one that's actually fallen down. It's actually quite hard to actually get this to actually break this apart, because it's pretty well cemented. It's only when it's been eroded that is actually it actually comes out. So here we actually have the harder inclusions that we saw in the actual Dargol formation. So this is actually very hard to erode, and all the actual sediment in between is the actual siltstone. So that is what this is, river alluvium. Been deposited, hasn't been transported very far from where it actually eroded. So here we actually, this is the other side. So on that side we have a pretty much angular rock, and on this side you can see we have a lot of actually rounded rocks from the actual river. So this is actually quite large. Oh bloody damn that. And a lot of the actual small stuff is also rounded. So this has actually been deposited by a river. It's probably been transported someplace upstream. But you also get angular rocks like this as well. So that actually hasn't been transported very far. So some more rounded rocks. And in between, this has actually been, it's actually been mined. So someone's actually taken all this rock out for some reason, not too sure. And if we go up here, we have some basalt. So here we have some basalt rock. Let me get this one out if I can. No, I can't get it out. So this is actually a large basalt boulder. So that would have been eroded definitely upstream, because there's actually the basalt is actually upstream that way. So, and if you can see you get all different grain sizes. So because all this is actually quite large, yeah, gravel, silt, I don't see much clays, and you get cobbles and boulders. So this is actually quite a low energy environment that's just deposited all this rock. So, and if this actually, oh look, here we have some quartz, so that definitely would have actually come from somewhere upstream, because there is no quartz veins in this locality. And here we actually have some more rounded rocks, so that's on the actual ground. So these are actually rounded. So basically on this side we have well-rounded rocks. On that side it's all angular, so this is probably eroded in place and fallen down, I would say, as well as river deposits, and this is mainly just river deposits. And let's see if we can find some other rocks. So here we actually have some basalt, and then we've got some sandstone, so this is all mixed. Look at the spider. And that's basically it. I've always dreamed of actually finding a fossil in here, but I reckon that actual bone would just be totally destroyed. If you go up here, you can see we've got 1, 2, 3 basalt boulders, and then we've got some all this material on top, and then we've got basalt boulder up here, another one here. They've got sandstone. This is all sand in there. So pretty much it is just a mix, so definitely river alluvium. And the geological map actually says that this is Quaternary, so it's pretty much recent, probably in a few thousands, tens of thousands of years it's been deposited. Alluvium, sand, silt, clay, minor gravels. So it's basically what this has. And it comes from, it'll contain the Pleistocene, olivine basalts and the Silurian Dargol Formation. Although there is the Hume Formation, so a lot of these smaller rocks are probably also that. So that's basically what we've got here. Let's say thank you very much for watching my video. Hope you learned something, and geology is awesome.